Hi, fans. Welcome back to part two of week five's weekly high school football preview. We had a little bit of an issue with the first live link, so we started a new one here. We just spoke with Lewiston's head coach, Zane Hobart, and got his recap of the Battle of the Bridges and also some preview on his upcoming game Friday night at 6 p.m. against Bothell there at Lewiston High School. Now our next guest is Stoughton High School's head coach Jim Holman. Jim, how you doing?
Good, good. How you doing?
Yeah, really good. So Jim, let's just start and kind of recap last week's game a little bit versus Riverview, the home opener. Tell us what you thought and how that one went for you.
I was real pleased with how we played offensively. We were able to run the ball pretty effectively. I thought we improved a lot in our passing game and pass protection. So I was real happy offensively. Defensively, we were great against the run, but that's a problem stopping the pass, which we did last year too. Riverview's got two really good receivers, and it was a tough matchup for us. But I thought we competed, and thought our guys got better overall from the start of the game to the end of the game in our second.
And that was, a quality win there for a Stoughton, 41-26, and now we kind of turn the next page and welcome Colfax in this week, 7 p.m. start time out in Stoughton. What can you expect from Colfax? What is kind of your gut feeling on what they might do to a Stoughton, what they might take away, and how do you think a Stoughton might combat some of those?
It's tough. Still early in the season. Played one game, so we only have one film on them, which uh, it's a bit different than they looked last year against us in the same week. So, um, I think they got some skill guys. A couple of their basketball players are out for football now, and that's going to help them. Uh, you know, um, Tight end seems to be their guy, which every as long as we've been playing at Colfax, they've always had tight ends that are good. They really like to get their tight ends involved, so that'll be a challenge against for us again. And then the quarterback's an athletic kid, likes to run it. So and then they're also have the fullback there that the Nilsson kid who's physical and likes to run between the tackles. So they bring a little bit of everything. So it'll be good for us to just for me really it's about this is our last non-league game, and so we start league play next week with a tough Freeman team. So really this week for me is kind of the culmination of our preseason, if you will, and non-league schedule and getting ready to for the games to count, so to speak.
Yeah, so with that kind of thought in mind, how do you think the league will shake out as we start getting into that? Uh, Last year, if it wasn't the best league, it was definitely arguably one of the best leagues in the 2B ranks in Washington. History would say that could probably be similar this year. What's your take on what the Northeast 2B league looks like a little bit this year as we kind of start moving into the league schedule for some opponents?
Yeah, that's a good question. I really don't know. I can't really get a feel. Freeman, of course, went to the last year like we did. Quarterback's back; he's a stud. They got a few guys, but they graduated quite a bit. Really everybody in our league graduated quite a bit of guys, so it's kind of unknown things. But you're right. In watching the score so far, teams are doing well. Freeman lost to Rogers, of course, 2A team, but Reardon 2-0, Newport's 2-0, Northwest Christian's 2-0. So I really don't know how things are going to shake out. Freeman plays Northwest Christian tomorrow night, and I think that'll be a big tell about what they have. And for us, we have Freeman next week, and then Newport. So it's a start of a run of a month straight there, where we're going to have to figure out where we are in order to get to playoffs.
And just to touch on that just a little bit, you want to give some of the audience and Panther fans kind of what it takes to get into the playoffs this year, how that works with the North and the South, or with the two tiers and not just North and South. Uh, I know it seems to change, and there's always lots of questions with that surrounding playoff time and how to get into the state tournament.
Yeah, it's fairly straightforward this year. Last mess, so the upper tier um, teams are seven of us. The number one from that upper tier will have a bye week 10. They're already in the playoffs. The upper tier number two will play the lower tier number one. in a winner to state game, and then upper tier 3 will play 6 and 4 will play 5. We get 4 bursts, so number 1's in, and then some crossover games there for the last and week 10 winner in, loser out games.
Gotcha. Well, I know that the Panther fans will really enjoy having more of a straightforward understanding of what it takes to get into the state tournament this year, and I know the coaching staffs around the league probably enjoy that as well. Coach, is there anything else you'd like to touch on before we let you go this week? And
no. I'd like to see more Panther fans come out again. Had a decent crowd last week, and of course, competing with the Battle of the Bridges is always tough. But home game Friday night. Colfax travels well. Our closest team to a rivalry, really well, being 45 miles away. So always good games. Colfax is well coached. They do things the right way. So it's I am, and it's always good crowds and an exciting night. So looking forward to it.
Yes, well, good luck to you, and we will catch you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, Beyond the Scoreboard fans, thank you again for joining us on this week's weekly high school football preview show, sponsored by our major sponsor, All Valley Mini Storage. You can visit them at www.lcvstorage.com. We do have one more local game that will be played this week. We touched on their opponent just a little bit with Freeman and Rogers. But this week, Clarkston will be playing, I believe it's their first league game in Rogers High School out of the Spokane area. And I look forward to that one being a very close matchup, maybe back and forth. 2 quality teams that are still kind of battling, finding identity a little bit. And we, as a LC Valley fans and football fans, we're rooting for Coach Kyle Fox at Clarkston High School to snag his first head coaching win there at Clarkston High School. And we all know that that can be a tough game with Rogers coming in after Rogers taking down a Northeast 2B opponent of Asotans in Freeman. Freeman has been kind of a power here lately in the football ranks. Doesn't really matter the classification when we're talking about that. And Rogers was able to get them 21-14. I'm excited to see what that game will entail there against Clarkston. Looks like Clarkston will be playing at a little different time this week, as they are playing against Rogers, I believe in Spokane, at one stadium at 5 p.m. So for you Bantam fans, make sure you go out there and check out the Clarkston and Rogers game. I know you can follow them on the radio, get play-by-play there with Robert Hagan, and we will definitely have a recap on it for the next week to see how they did. Clarkston did, as we mentioned with our preview with Zane Hobart, that Lewiston did get them 46-0 in their last game in the Battle of the Bridges, which is always a tough one. Lewiston is a lot larger of an opponent than Clarkston's, but I'm really excited to see how Clarkston bounces back and opens up league at Rogers at 5 p.m. So once again, Beyond the Scoreboard fans, I appreciate you joining us this week. And as always, please go root for the area high schools, show them their support. And I can't wait to talk to you next week and preview get a recap of those 3 games and preview next week's games. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.